And we'd like to welcome Circuit Court Judge Rosemarie Aquilina. You may know her as the judge who presided over the USA Gymnastics sex abuse case. So, Judge, thank you so much for being here. So our Capitol Hill team heard from GOP Senator Joni Ernst today, who said if Hunter Biden is pleading guilty, it's because he's guilty. Is that what you see happened here?
Yes, I think he's pleading guilty because not only is he guilty, but he's suffering from trauma and he's recognizing that finally. And of course, they offered him a good deal, but that is not unusual. Good deals are offered in many of these kind of cases, no matter what kind of citizen you are, no matter who you are, president, son, or not.
I appreciate that context. And the U.S. attorney is likely to recommend Hunter Biden serve probation, according to sources close to the deal. Does that track with what others will receive for this very same offense, just to be clear?
Generally, yes. I don't know what his criminal background is. If he has no criminal background, then what we're really looking at is drug addiction that drove him to do a lot of things he shouldn't have done. And in terms of the tax evasion, that's a financial crime. We want to see that money paid back. Can't do it if he's in federal prison. So there's sort of a win-win. But this trauma that he suffered, I think, when he was a young boy, when his mother and sister died and he and his brother were seriously injured, I think that probably is the driving force. I'm not an expert, but I see a lot of this driving force to the addiction. And of course, the addiction then leads to the guns and not paying your taxes. There's a whole cycle that goes on. So the accountability is important. And we're looking at reformation, protection of society, disciplining the wrongdoer, which certainly is going to happen here, and deterrence of others. And then it's up to him for recovery, rehabilitation, and rebuilding his life. And if that does not happen, he'll do it the hard way, which will be in jail or prison.
All right. And the investigation into Hunter Biden is ongoing, according to David Weiss, the U.S. attorney leading the probe. But Biden's attorneys say in a statement that that was their understanding, that it had been resolved. So what is likely going on here, and where do we go moving forward?
I think this is a fishing expedition, and what we're doing is we are setting up those people who are well-known politically, movie stars, whoever you are, for these kind of fishing expeditions. And really, everybody's subject to investigation. It should be a level playing field. You should take politics out of it. If he's pled, it's game over unless there's new evidence. If there's new evidence, then go for it, like any other citizen. But why is he being held out like this? Has this got anything to do with what's happening with Trump? Why are we looking at politics instead of protection of the public and treating everybody equal, as is demanded by our Constitution? Those are important questions I would like answers to.
Absolutely. Has there been anything that's raised red flags to you, Judge, about the justice system being weaponized for political purposes?
Oh, absolutely. We hear and see it every day between the various parties. I see it on the bench with racism and other issues. And what we need to do is treat everybody equally and follow our Constitution. Otherwise, the Supreme Court needs to get into work and figure out where the loopholes in the Constitution and talk with the legislature, and let's clean up the Constitution. Otherwise, how about honoring it and treating people equally? I have a real problem with politicizing people for the gain of a headline. No offense to you in media. I love that you're the watchdogs, but why are we politicizing for headlines when we should be looking at criminals and making sure justice happens in every single case?
And that would absolutely benefit all Americans. Judge Rosemarie Aquilina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.